hands together for your next storyteller tonight, Cindy Healy.
Go big or go home. No risk, no reward. I do hard things. These were the headlines and the mantras of my life. And then I realized one day that I had grown distant from that. I had been sliding away from that. I was feeling small and playing small. What the heck had happened to me? Life, loss, health stuff, responsibilities. But I knew a big, big reason, something that had really shaken my confidence, was the last 8 years I had spent at work going through this annual process called stack ranking. You may know it better as the Hunger Games. And so far, the odds had been in my favor, sometimes very much so. But I started feeling this fear that next time I wasn't going to rank high enough. And that really started to consume me and eat away at me to the point where I thought I wasn't good enough. But there was good news. The company abolished the Hunger Games. And I at least had the presence of mind to recognize that I had a problem. I had a confidence problem, and I was going to fix it. So I decided that one tactic I would take was that I was going to start saying yes to things that made me uncomfortable personally and professionally. If something was going to expand my comfort zone, I had to say yes. So when a friend invited me to join her and a group of women to go walk for a week on the Camino de Santiago in Spain, this ancient pilgrimage, even though parts of my brain were screaming, "You're no athlete, what are you thinking? This is going to be so hard and such a hassle and so dirty." But I still said yes. So fast forward to the Camino, we're there. It is incredible. Just these amazingly beautiful vistas and the coolest people, just thousands of pilgrims, everybody walking along the Camino. And I quickly learned that on the Camino, everyone's on their own journey. Even if you're walking with friends, even if you're in a group, you're very much alone because you have so much time to think as you walk. Time to think about whatever you've been avoiding in your non-Camino life. I walked and I walked and I walked, and what kept coming up for me was this thing about not being good enough. And the Camino was giving me evidence that I wasn't good enough. I was the only one in our group of 6 women. I got terrible water blisters all over my feet. My feet were being rubbed raw as I walked. Clearly, I had not purchased the right shoes or socks for this trip. And then there were my knees. My knees just ached so bad. I worried I was doing permanent damage. Clearly, my training on the mean streets of Woodinville had not been sufficient. And then there were the signs along the Camino that would explain in kilometers how far to the next village or how far to our endpoint at Santiago de Compostela. But guess who had not paid attention in junior high when we studied the metric system? So I was constantly miscalculating how much further I had to walk at any point in time. I was so frustrated. On our longest day, we walked about 20 miles. And I found myself alone that afternoon with a friend in this emerald forest. And we were the only pilgrims we could see up or down the trail for hours. So I had a lot of time to think. And I started talking to God. And I said, "What is up with this not feeling good enough? I am so tired of this. I want to give it to you. I want to leave it here on the Camino. I am done." And I got a message. I didn't see a burning bush, there were no lightning strikes, and I didn't hear any voices, but I got a message that pierced my heart. And the message was, "I love you where you are now, I love you where you are going, and I love you every step of the way." And I just felt released. it was gone. And then just like that, I got another message, and that was that I had to go out and love other people like this. So why not start at home? I grabbed my cell phone and I texted my husband, honey, I love you where you are now, I love you where you are going, and I love you every step of the way. And then I waited for his reply, half expecting something smart-ass like, who dis? But that's not what he said. He texted back and he said, honey, that's all I could ever ask for. So it's been a few years since I walked the Camino, and I have been saying yes to everything. And except for some collateral damage when I dragged my husband onto a stage on a cruise ship for a game of Name That Tune karaoke, the results have been phenomenal. I said yes to a healthier lifestyle, dropped some weight, and gained a ton of energy. I said yes to a new job that I absolutely love. I said yes to telling my stories about being a woman in technology and supporting STEM education and diversity. And I said yes to coaching and mentoring others, helping them understand the beautiful journey that they are on, helping them understand that they are worthy of love and good enough, where they are now, where they are going, and every step of the way.
Keep it going for Cindy.